What up there, Global Mobiles? How's it going there, YouTube Nation? I know it has been a while since I've actually put up a real video, but Windows 10 is here. And my channel is all about tech, so what it is without this little talk about Windows 10. Now, during my time, I have been dabbling here and there with the development builds of Windows 10, but now that it's fully released and it's been 7 days that it's actually been released to the public, there has been quite confusions as to how is this free upgrade going to work and how come I don't see this little icon on my taskbar that everybody is actually getting except me. Now, there are quite some simple solutions, answers, and all these stuff that comes up when trying to upgrade to Windows 10. Now, one and foremost, like from the experience that I have had, make sure that your Windows is genuine. Now, I know some of you may have dabbled here and there with torrents, or maybe have had a friend who knows about computers or a thing or two, and maybe he or she or whoever may have been installed your Windows operating system. Now, during all of this time, you in your mind are thinking, yeah, I have a genuine Windows copies of Windows, might as well, I think I deserve this update. And at the end, when you find out that you do upgrade within their system, you find out you have to activate Windows due to the fact that Windows 7 was never genuine. Now, those are your first few things that could happen. It happened to me, and believe me, I never had that little icon, and I suffered the ultimate fate as to when I did force upgrade or tried to force scan for Windows 10, it actually did come up. Now, there are tricks and little tips that I would put down on the description down below as to where you can actually find such little known registry exploits that will eventually force Windows Update to actually pop Windows 10 to you. Now, I basically had the opportunity to upgrade to Windows 10, but at the end of it all, found out the hard way that my copy of Windows 7 was not actually genuine, and I had to revert back to Windows 7. Now, within that, I actually did genuinely reinstalled Windows, put in a genuine key, and sure or not, I was able to receive this little icon on the side that says Get Windows 10. Now, upon clicking that, you're going to see a little sidebar and a little hamburger menu where you click that, and eventually you get to reserve your copy of Windows 10. Now, there's this little thing that happens within that. It actually does scan your PC. It takes little chunks of little information as to your build of Windows, the product ID in which it actually submits to Microsoft, and then later on determines whether or not you are eligible for the Windows 10 upgrade. Now, some of you may say, how long will this take? Well, it depends. Your interaction with Microsoft is the most various thing that you should do. Reason why is because Windows 10 associates yourself with your Microsoft ID account. Now, whether or not you want to opt into the super secretive Cortana, you do have to enter your Microsoft Live ID, into which then it embeds onto your Microsoft account or Microsoft Windows, in which no longer works as a private local account, meaning that whatever password you set onto your Windows will no longer work, because now your Windows Live ID, your Windows Hotmail or Windows Microsoft Outlook email will eventually take over Windows 10. Now, I know this sounds all a little bit confusing, and by now you guys are like, what are you talking about? Let me explain even deeper. Now, again, I said, do make sure that your Windows, whatever copy it is genuine. You can go to Microsoft Sites, a little section as to how to validate your genuine Windows copies of Windows. Sorry, excuse me. And eventually you'll download this little tool. Now, here comes a little catch. You are going to risk a little bit of your privacy, meaning that if you do own a pirate version of Windows, eventually you're gonna get this little nasty watermark on the side. And if you do get a good build of Windows, that actually will not appear because somehow there is some sort of exploit embedded into your installation of Windows that will eventually remove that watermark. But again, this tool will determine whether or not your version of Windows is genuine. Now, this may be a little bit confusing with the OEM versions of Windows. Now, those are way different than the real retail versions of Windows because basically you, the consumer, are actually putting the full support onto your PC. So if you do own a OEM version of Windows, this validation tool may be a little confusing because eventually it will tell you that your version of Windows is not really genuine, but when you do call Microsoft and give them your product ID, they will in fact verify that you do genuinely own their Windows copy of Windows, and it's 100% eligible for the upgrade. Now, back to the thing. The thing goes is that if you do have a genuine Windows copy of Windows, that little icon will show up if you do have certain updates installed. Now, I will put the link or a description as to what type of updates you must have on your PC in order to receive the Windows 10 update. Now, do keep in mind, there are sites, there are forums that are saying, no, do not download this update. This update really kills your chances of getting the Windows 10. That is not true. Once again, these updates are a prerequisite and must be a fully requirement to be eligible for the Windows 10 update, as those updates send little pings of information saying that yes, your PC is ready because you updated all of your drivers, you have the latest this and that. But again, your interaction with Microsoft is the most important thing. Now, what does this mean? Well, log into your Windows Hotmail account, Outlook, go into Windows forums, make sure you click here and there, but eventually do go to the Windows 10 website. Every single interaction that you make there while logged in will eventually send like a little tracking beacon, a cookie or something, and that basically relays back and forth to the Microsoft website. Eventually, it will find out whether or not you are up to date with all of your drivers, all of your system settings, and all of this stuff. And then eventually, that little icon will pop up. Now, this is where it becomes easier for me because there are also stuff on the site that says, well, if you want to do a clean install,